All right, what's good, everyone? What's good? What's good? What's good? Oop, I'm already starting the show with a mess. What's good, everyone? For those who are new, welcome. My name is AJ or Persuasive Tarot. For those of you who are returning, what's good? Now, this video is a little bit different. It's not my typical readings for the collective. This is a story time. This is a story time about the first time I got fired. Now, typically, I wouldn't post myself on my channel because this channel is strictly for readings, nothing else. But I was feeling pulled to talk about the times I've been fired. So, without further ado, we'll kind of get straight into it. All right, where do we begin? Where do we begin? Okay, the first time I got fired, right? First time I got fired, I was around, I don't know, I was in my early 20s. Now, I was working for Microsoft, right? And here I am thinking, oh, I'm doing it big because I'm working for Microsoft, you know? Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. I was wrong. Sadly wrong. Now, mind you, right? It had July 3rd would make it a year of working with Microsoft. Now, this whole situation happened a few days before my year anniversary of working there, right? Now, prior to me getting fired, I knew something was off, but I wasn't sure what it was. I was not sure what it was, right? Mind you, I kept having vivid dreams of my teeth being pulled out. Now, I did my research regarding that dream, and apparently, that dream refers to a loss of something or losing something, you know. Mind you, after being fired, I had to get my teeth taken out too. So, don't forget about that one too. Yeah, don't forget. Um, so prior to me being fired, I had dreams about my teeth being pulled out, and it gave me anxiety. I'm not gonna lie to you, that dream gave me high anxiety because number one, who wants their teeth taken out? I don't. But sadly, that still happened, you know. And number two, who wants to lose something or someone? No one really plans for that, quite frankly. Um, so yeah, fast forward to the day after I had that dream. My anxiety was through the roof. It was high. My body wasn't doing too good because I felt like something's about to happen, but I don't know what it was. Now, mind you, although I did that research of what it meant to have a dream about your teeth being taken out and it said a loss of something, I still didn't put two and two together. However, I should have though, because even after the facts, it made sense then. You know, during, I was up in the clouds. I had no idea what that dream meant. That dream meant. You know. So, anyways, a day after, so or the next day, should I say, or after the dream, my body wasn't feeling well. My anxiety was through the roof. My body could sense. My body knew something was off. My body knew that there was about to be some kind of change, but I just wasn't sure what kind of change it was. Cool. A few days after that dream, let me say 3 days. Again, this is like inching to the year mark of being there at Microsoft, you know. So we're getting almost there. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna make it to a year. I'm gonna make it to a year, you know. Yeah, no. No, I was mistaken. Sadly mistaken. Mind you, back then my title was project manager, so it was just a lot, man. It was a lot of variables. We also had to moderate live events. It was a lot, man. Like, all I can say is I gave my blood and my sweat, I gave everything I could working with Microsoft, and it still left me feeling depleted. Like I was doing all of this for what reason? All for you motherfuckers to fire me? Make it make sense. Anywho, prior to me being fired, I received an email from my higher up saying, "Hey, let's book a 15-minute session to talk about work and what's been going on." I'm like, "What do you mean? What's been going on? Nothing's been going on. I've been doing my job. I haven't had any complaints. I've been literally giving you guys my all, and you're telling me what's been going on, bitch? What? 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 Make it make sense. What do you mean? What's been going on?" There were, like I said, there were no signs from them that made me suggest or think otherwise. No. It was only through the dream that I was like, okay, something's about to happen, but I don't know what it is. Cool. Fast forward to the meeting. There are two people. There are two people in this meeting, plus me, three. One of the higher ups, and I think the higher up after her, or yeah, something like that. They talked to me about work. They said to me, what's been going on. Apparently, the person who I was like in partnership with complained. I'm like, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. Why isn't anyone telling me this? Why am I just hearing about this now? Like, you didn't provide any room for coaching or improve nothing. Fast forward to, oh, there's been complaints, so we have to let you go. Of what? I asked her, what complaints? Can you be specific? What complaints are you talking about? Could she answer me? No. This bitch couldn't tell me anything. Now, mind you, granted, they were letting a lot of people go during that year. And fortunately, I'm not going to say unfortunately, fortunately, I was the one who they let go. Now, after being fired, like I said, this is my first time being fired. I was early 20s. Early 20s, living on my own. Yes, I had a roommate, but I still had bills to pay, Early 20s, being fired, and mentally, physically, emotionally, I was not there. I was struggling. I was going through the mud, the trenches. I was in a bad place. I didn't want to ask my parents for money, but I knew at some point I had to. Now, mind you, right, I've been living on my own technically from the age of 13. Yes, I have contacted my parents, but we're not close, Like anyone knows, everyone has their own family drama, family issues. So anyways, at some point I had to ask my parents for money. Again, I was depressed. I wasn't really speaking to anyone, quite frankly. Even when I did speak to my parents, they could tell I was not me. I was not the typical AJ. I was not the bubbly AJ. I was nothing. I felt like a failure. I felt like my life. My life. I felt like my life was destined for nothing, for failure. I really felt like everything was crashing down because I didn't know what would happen, or because I was overthinking what would happen. Like I would lose my place, I would lose my car, I wouldn't be able to, like, basically I would be homeless, you know. So that also added to my depression, the thought of overthinking certain scenarios. Now, yeah, it didn't help me at all. It did not help me at all. I was in a bad place, guys. I really was. Um, so anyways, I reached out to my parents, I reached out to my brother because he lives here and he knows the system better than I do, you know. So he did suggest this. Mind you, this is like a week, 2 weeks of, excuse me, not speaking to anyone and just going ghost because I was in it, you know. He told me about unemployment, so I had to apply for unemployment. Now, mind you, I was still looking for work. Like, this is weeks, months of searching for literally anything. I would apply for McDonald's, janitorial jobs. I would apply literally anything because my focus was money. I had bills to pay. You think I'm gonna be left for this long when I have shit to do? It's making make sense, and it wasn't making sense. You know, not even gonna lie to you. At some point, I considered OF. OF. I'm not gonna say what it is, but if you know what it is, you know what it is. Okay. I considered it, but ultimately, because of my morals and values, I couldn't see myself doing that, and because of the long term perspectives, I could not see myself doing that. You know, I still had hope. A part of me still had hope because I have been through worse situations where I have actually where I have actually been homeless, you know. So it could be worse, and it wasn't, you know. So I still had that little bit of hope, even though it wasn't enough. I felt like it was enough to get me by, you know. Um, so I applied for unemployment after a few weeks. Um, and then they said it will take about 6 weeks to 8 weeks to for you to receive it, or something like that. I don't know. Yes, yeah, 6 weeks, I think. Yeah. Um, but even with that being said, I was still looking for work, looking for work, looking for work, and I think it took me like 3 months before I found something. Now, this position I found was, I believe, program manager for a school. And mind you, I had studied child and youth psychology. Um, sorry, I can see my neighbor. I had studied child and youth psychology, so essentially it went hand in hand. It went two and two, you know. And prior to getting this job, I have had other jobs. Let me put that out there. I have had other jobs. Um, yeah, so working wasn't anything new to me. I think just consistently working or needing to find something to give me consistency was a hard thing for me. That's what I wanted: consistency and stability. Now, as someone who was homeless a few times, especially in the younger days with our family, my family, we went through it. You know, we've been there a few times. I know how it feels to be homeless, to have nothing, you know, and then when you eventually have something that's yours or you think is yours, you try as much to hold that, whether it is your work, your job, your marriage. You try to hold on to that stability because it's what you know or what you've known, and because you have experienced loss, you hold on to it so tight because you don't want to let go and you don't want to experience that same loss, you know. So yeah, being fired, I went through it, man. I really thought I was a failure. I thought this is the worst thing that could possibly happen at this age, at this time. The time frame was so off, you know. But one thing I can say is pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to the signs you receive, because God is sending you messages, whether you like it or not. But it's up to you to take it in. It's up to you to have that discernment of what God is trying to say to you. It's funny because I look back and I'm like, I'm so happy I left, because if I had stayed, or if I had chosen to stay and not have been fired, where would that have taken me? Would I even be happy? That's a real question. Don't just do something because of money. In fact, let your passion be the thing that makes you money. Now, for some people, being an OF is their passion and they make some money. Shit, go for it. Hell yeah. Being an artist is what? Listen, it's also a form of art, technically. um, yeah, let your passion be the thing that makes you money, because you will never have to worry about where money is going to come from, what your stability looks like, because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I have it figured out at this age. I'm I'm, I'm almost 30, let's just say that. I'm almost 30, so I don't always have shit figured out. I don't. A lot of people don't, and that's what I'm figuring out. The irony, huh? I'm figuring out that there are people in their late 40s, late 50s, even 30s who are still trying to figure this shit out. We're really just taking it day by day. It's the little steps that really matter. As long as you're taking the steps needed to get to where you need to get to, good job. I'm proud of you. And as someone who has let the thoughts of others interfere in her own happiness, her own growth, her own passion and vision that she sees for herself, I've come to realize that only does nothing for you. That, in fact, if anything, it just continues to eat at you, because within yourself, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. You're only doing this because your mom, your dad, your brothers, family, they said you should do it. What sense does that make? What do you look like doing something else because A, B, and C said so? At the end of the day, you really have to do what makes you happy, what you're passionate about, what your soul, what your spirit is telling you to do, and what you resonate with. Now, mind you, your passion is going to change constantly. Your passion might be to be an artist for the next 10 years, and then after that 10 years, it might be to be a teacher. Something along those lines, The point I'm trying to emphasize is change is inevitable. It's bound to happen. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. Whether we like it or not. But with that being said, trust your intuition, trust your gut. When something feels off, when you're being given the signs, don't ignore it. Because if anything, you're going to feel like you are unprepared. And as a spiritual being, and everyone here is a spiritual being, tap more into that energy. When you're able to tap more into that energy, you begin to see the shift. You begin to expect the unexpected and be prepared for the unexpected. But yeah, for those who are going through a situation of being fired or feeling like they need to figure it out here and now, take your time. Take your time. Spend majority of your time with yourself, because God is going to isolate you so that you can focus more on Him and also focus more on yourself. Those distractions you had, they will be taken away because God wants you closer. God wants you to do what it is you've been destined to do, what your purpose is. So, anyways, in short, I think it's so important to trust your intuition, and when God is giving you signs through your dreams, through numbers, shit, even through other people sometimes, pay attention to it, because that's how God gave me all the signs of this huge change in my stability, and I still played it off as, oh no, I'm just overthinking this. No, I haven't done anything wrong. No, everything has been going well so far. No. And also pay attention to your body. If you're feeling burned out, if you're feeling like, oh, I no longer want to be here anymore, or go to work anymore, or even be around these people, follow through with that. Follow through with it, because you're only putting yourself in more suffering, because your soul is not happy, the physical body is not happy, and you're being given these signs through, whether it's anxiety, fear, panic attacks, or bad vibes in general, and you're still there. What are we doing? What are we doing? Don't ignore the signs. Don't ignore the signs, because I feel like that's how a lot of people stay in this trap or this box of, okay, I have bills to pay, but I don't like my job. But because my job gives me money to pay these bills, I have no other choice but to be there. When in reality, you don't even like half these motherfuckers. You're just there for the paycheck, that's it. And I also place such a huge emphasis on following your passion, doing things and making money off the things you enjoy doing. If you're good at painting, start selling your painting. If you're good at hair, oh, by the way, I did my hair myself. So if you're in Renton or Linwood, hit me up. Or Seattle, hit me up. But yeah, if you're if you're interested, if your passion is giving you money, follow through with that. Create a long-term goal within now and 2 years and 5 years. Where do you want to be within that time frame? Where do you see your business going? Spend more time meditating, praying to God, and asking God, hey, God, this is my vision. Guide me. If it's not for me, remove it. If it's for me, please bring the right people into my life, or the right circumstances into my life, opportunities, whatever you want to call them. Don't ignore the signs, because a lot of us are in situations where we're not happy. We're only there because, number one, like I said, it pays your bills. It's giving you a paycheck every two weeks, right? Even with that being said, again, you don't like half these people. Half these people bitch about you constantly, whether it's to your face or to your back. It happens. Again, you're there for a paycheck. I get it. What I ask you guys to do moving forward is genuinely spend time with yourself and write your goals out. Where do you want to be? Whether it's in terms of weight, work, business, content, whatever the case is, whether you want to be more consistent in content creating, do it, because that's what you like, and that's what is going to give you consistent money, because that is something you're never going to get tired of. But unfortunately, we live in a world where I'd say 86% of us have been conditioned to think that all you have to do is go to school, work, get an education, get a 9 to 5, come home and sleep, and repeat the cycle again. Even saying that out loud, how boring does that sound? Like, ew. Ew, I don't like that. No. Your life is destined for greatness, destined for success, abundance, happiness. Everything good is destined for you. It's time to unlearn what we've been taught so that we can create space for what truly is. The world we live in is not the world we live in. But then that's a whole different topic. It's a whole different topic. I don't want to get into that. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. But yeah, that's a whole different topic, man. This is fun. Yeah, like I said, I might post part two to you the second time I got fired. We will see how it goes. All right, guys. Until next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.